I can't hardly believe we're already in spring. The days seem to move gently, and the air is slowly turning warmer. I spent a couple of weeks working very intensely on a project, and now I'm finally allowing myself to slow down, going for walks, sitting quietly in nature, with my sketchbook and art supplies, and simply being present, enjoying these moments of observing every plant, every small detail, and trying to gently synthesize those impressions in my sketchbook. I made this painting, which for me feels like a small symbol of the beginning of spring. I added touches of watercolor with a water brush while keeping the sketch loose. I love observing the flowers and plants that are emerging this spring. The flowers softly blossoming and reminding us that change can be beautiful too. I used ink and a bit of white pen to add subtle details. Although this isn't the best paper for watercolors, I feel quite happy with the result of this light whimsical watercolor spread. Just sitting on my mat on the grass surrounded by greenery and capturing that moment became one of the most meaningful things that happened to me this week. I think I'm going to use this sketchbook just for loose ink and watercolor sketches, not very detailed pieces. Drawing like this is a kind of therapy that always helps me. This small watercolor palette, it's so easy to carry around. I think I really needed an escape from all the difficult news in the world and the stress from my work as an architect. And I just wanted to focus on painting, on my creativity, and it felt incredibly good. I've also been visiting coffee shops, reading, and taking time to enjoy the spring. I bought some flowers to bring life into my art studio. And I had a few pots that I really like, so I decided to repot some older plants and use those nicer pots for these new flowers to create a small, intimate garden. I think it's always beautiful to bring nature indoors, especially during the spring season. It feels so nourishing to spend time gardening. I feel it's a deeply meditative practice, simply cleaning the plants and removing the old leaves. Moving the plants around and working with the soil. Focusing on planting them, I was in a state of flow. I continued trying to give them more space within these spots and adding fresh soil. This is such a sweet, charming pot. It has this cottagecore feeling that I really like, and I think it turned out so lovely with these flowers. I also have this turquoise round pot that I really like, and I decided to place these beautiful pink flowers in it, which fit almost perfectly. And I don't know, this combination of pink and turquoise feels really harmonious. I also planted some pink and white daisies in this bigger container. And once all the pots were ready, I felt a quiet sense of joy. I also found this essential oil diffuser at a garage sale, and I added a bit of lavender essential oil drops. It's so beautiful, it looks like a small glowing lantern, and it softly changes colors while releasing fragrance into the room. Then I arranged some flowers in a vase, placing them in a corner of the studio. And I realized my desk had become quite cluttered with all the work I've been doing. I had my flowers ready in their pots, but I decided I needed to clean my desk first. Making space for the flowers, which I feel should be near the window so they can receive sunlight and fresh air. And as I figure out where to place them, I wanted them close to the window, but not all crowded together. So I began moving things around, trying to find a place for everything I needed nearby for my work as an artist, but at the same time arranging things in a way that feels calm and somewhat organized. I also watered the plants a little so they could stay moist while adapting to their new environment. So I spent some time gently rearranging the pots, my brushes, pens, vases, and the other plants I already had. Slowly finding a way to fit all my art supplies while thinking about my workflow. I do have quite a lot of things on this desk, but most of them are things I use constantly. And I'm creating space for the flowers so they can bring a good energy while I'm painting and working. I also placed my sketchbooks in this beautiful basket I found at the same garage sale. And I really like how they look there, all gathered together. It also makes it easier to revisit them and finish unfinished sketches. So this is how my desk turned out. I allowed myself to be creative, and it truly made me feel happy. I now have enough space for a painting area, all my materials within reach, and flowers all around. And also the soft glow of this diffuser lamp, which feels like a gentle finishing touch. Anyways, I felt grateful to bring a bit of spring into my home and studio, and I think it will support my work, helping me relax and stay connected to my creativity. Thank you so much for watching, and see you soon.